Hey everybody, it's Nate with Sauce Ain't the Boss here again, and today is day number 52 of quitting drinking alcohol. Today I wanted to talk about how do you quit drinking alcohol? That's the big question, right? How do I get away from this stuff? And there's multiple options out there for quitting drinking. You can quit drinking on your own, which is what I'm doing. Some people go to AA. Some people go to rehab clinics. And so you got to ask yourself what makes somebody successful no matter which route they decide to go. And about 50% of the people that go to AA or rehab clinics end up going back to drinking at one point. 50% success rate's not bad though. And people that quit on their own, some of them are successful, some of them aren't. So as I've said before, what really makes that difference between being successful or not, no matter what route you go, and I think that is truly how bad you want it. Have you gotten to a place in your life where you absolutely want to quit drinking? When I tried quitting in the past, I did want to quit, but there was still a part of me inside that just didn't want to give it up. And if you kind of have that still lingering, it's not to say you can't succeed with that there, but it just makes it that much more difficult. So I think that what leads to ultimate success is getting to a place where you just are done with alcohol and you really, really, truly have a desire and need to quit drinking. So the next step, once you're there, decide which route you want to go, and then don't put the alcohol into your mouth anymore. That's a simple thing, right? You just don't go to the store and buy it, don't have it in your house, and don't drink it anymore. That's a physical thing that's really easy to do. The next thing is difficult, so to speak, and that is dealing with all the psychological and mental things that come along with the cravings, the triggers you have, how to deal with the things in your life now that you've always had alcohol as your crutch to deal with. And so that's the probably the biggest challenge in the whole process, but it's only as difficult as you make it. If you plan well, you get your mind right, you really have that desire, it's going to be a lot easier on you. And one of the things that I think is huge is planning out the first 2 or 3 weeks of what you're going to do in place of drinking during those first few weeks, because for most people that's the most difficult time. That's when your cravings are probably the strongest. That's when you're learning to deal with things for the first time in a long time without alcohol, and so that can be the most challenging. So I think if you kind of write out a calendar, it doesn't have to be anything too major. Do it on your cell phone, piece of paper, and just say, okay, Monday of this week I'm doing this, Tuesday I'm doing that, Wednesday I'm doing that, every single day for 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe it's visiting a friend or family member that you haven't seen in a while that's a non-drinker. Maybe it's cleaning all your cars one evening, doing errands, shopping, working around the house, doing all the projects that you've let go because you've been doing so much drinking and spending so much time and energy on that. You probably got a list of quote honeydews to do that you could do in the evenings instead. So I mean, the list goes on and on. Go hiking, exercise, go on a quick road trip, yard work, gardening, hobbies. But plan things for those first 2 or 3 weeks, and it's going to make it, I think, a lot easier. And then that's when I noticed after about 3 weeks when the cravings were less. I learned how to deal with things a lot better in those 3 weeks. So like I've said before, if you can get past the first 3 weeks to a month, it does get a lot easier. And so having a game plan, going in with the right mindset and preparedness, is going to make a big difference. And then, after that, it's all about creating a life and creating routines that you really enjoy doing that distance yourself further from alcohol, because you've got all these good things in your life now, and all the bad stuff starts to leave because you're filling your life with things that you enjoy and that distance you more and more from alcohol. So once you create the new routines and new life, and that's a long process, you start doing things one by one and you find, I really like this or I really like that. And you start adding these things to your life. Before you know it, you have more and more and more of these things that you realize if you ever went going back to alcohol at that point, you would have to give a lot of those things up, or they would kind of disappear and go by the wayside because you fell into your old habits and your old routine. And so that's the real key. Once you're a month or longer into it, it's continually moving forward with creating a better life for yourself. And you're able to do that now because you're not getting drunk all the time, and you're not feeling the aftermath of being hungover and tired and groggy and brain fog. All those things start to go away, and you can see and feel a lot more clearly now and create that life that you haven't been able to because you've been stuck in that alcohol trap for so long. And so, yeah, that's the key at that point. Just keep moving forward and keep creating. And that's where I'm at. That's the stage I'm at now, where it's just like every single day, I find new things that I like to do, keep myself busy, and help other people, improve on my relationships, and just all this good stuff starting to happen in my life because I'm free from that alcohol at this point. And so those would be my kind of recommendations for you guys if you're thinking about quitting drinking or you're in the beginning stages of it. Use these videos as a tool. This is day 52. Go back to day 1. Follow them day by day. Some people get some help from some of these types of things too. And that's why I created this channel is another just tool in your bag. And the more experience, the more times you quit, never quit trying to quit. Keep moving forward, gain those tools, gain that experience, and if you mess up, don't beat yourself up, but also own it and go, hey, I messed up this time, but I'm not going to quit trying to quit. I'm going to give it another go. And, just keep moving forward. And eventually it may be the 101st time, but you can leave alcohol in your past forever and move forward and create yourself a much better life that you've been longing for deep down. And sky's the limits, guys. So remember, sauce ain't the boss. You are. You guys have a great night.